Listen to me. If there was a wise man who would ever think of this, they would say in order to be superior to the man, you've got to be the man. For I am the man himself.
What is going on, and how you guys all doing this late Thursday night? This is the Club of the Man 1993. You'll have to excuse me. I am going to sound a little tired. I unfortunately did not sleep well at all last night. One of my dogs kept me up because he was just energetic. He was thirsty, and he was dragging his bowls all over the house, making loud noises. So the man's tired. He's exhausted. But he still came up here to briefly talk about this past week's episode of Monday Night Raw. The July 22nd, 2024 edition. And it took place in Green Bay, Wisconsin. This will be the last Raw review until Summerslam. As always, I take a break the week of a pay-per-view from reviews of the shows. And focus more on doing the preview and predictions video, which I will be doing this coming week as we have the big preview for SummerSlam 2024 taking place next Saturday, August 3rd, 2024 at Cleveland Browns Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. Again, a couple of my good friends I know will be attending SummerSlam this year as well. And I did announce earlier this week, that next week I will be bringing back an Instagram and a Twitter page for the channel, as I will be starting over with social media again. As I said before, I want to make sure the pages are going to be focused on the channel, focused on talking about news topics, and personal stuff is not going to intertwine with them like they did the first time around. So I'm looking forward to getting those started again and getting things fired back up again. I will have to readjust some of the commercials I made, though, because I want to get the new handles in. Again, hopefully I'll be able to make some of them the same as they were before, but I cannot guarantee that. So of course we will be seeing them flashing below the graphic again, and they'll be updated in the end day graphic, and go from there. But again, I'm tired. I had a long week, and again, I didn't sleep well last night, so I am going to go through this review effectively but kind of quickly, because I do want to get one or two more things done before I go to bed tonight. But I thought Raw this week was another really great episode. Got me a little more hyped for some of the matches for SummerSlam. We had, of course, a nice brawl to start off the show with Damian Priest and Gunther hyped up for their world title match. We, of course, had further storyline, and Dominik Mysterio decided to pull out the microphone and tell Liv Morgan, with Mommy basically, holding him hostage. Dominik Mysterio tells Liv, "Hey Liv, I hate you, you hate me, we're an unhappy family." Just kidding, that's not how it went. Dom told Liv he hated her, and it broke Liv Morgan's heart. Although we all know, by next Saturday, we know for sure they won't hate each other. They will be in love, whatnot. We have, of course, the official Intercontinental Championship match set for SummerSlam. CM Punk is officially cleared to compete, and his match with Drew McIntyre was made official. And they are, in fact, having a special guest referee. And a couple other little things that happened on the show we will talk about. But yeah, another great episode. Couple little nitpicks though I have about it again, but it's going to happen. Let's get into it though and talk about it. Again, we were in Green Bay, Wisconsin. And the show opened up with Gunther making his entrance, saying how he wants to explain himself. He reflected on the things he said to Damian Priest last week, and he agrees that he meant every single word of it. Basically emphasizing how Damian Priest is a bum and he is very privileged and whatnot. And it led to Damian Priest coming out, and Priest didn't even say a word, and they basically had this nice pull-apart brawl that even escalated into after the commercial break as well, just to add a little more heat to the match. Again, I keep saying that. I think this match is going to be good. I am a little more interested in this match than I am with Cody and Soul, if I'm being 100% honest. I still, again, don't think that this match is quite a SummerSlam-worthy match. But I do appreciate the storytelling that they're doing with it. It's starting to feel one of those matches where, yes, it is two heels, but they're trying to get one of them coming out being a babyface. It's like how Damian Sandow, or Aaron Stevens, as he's called now, mentions that the 2013 Money in the Bank ladder match for SmackDown, all 7 members of that match were heels. But he said, of course, the goal by the end of the match was to have everyone see Cody win the match and make Cody a babyface. That's what this feud's tried to accomplish. It's tried to make Damian a babyface. Where it goes after this, I have no idea, but I appreciate, what they're trying to accomplish in the storyline at least. But we had, again, a nice pull-apart brawl happening between them. Braun Breaker and Ilja Dragunov had another match where the winner would get a shot at the Intercontinental Championship at SummerSlam. When this match was announced, I did think at first they were going to have this match somehow not end in a clear contest, and it was going to lead to a triple threat with Sami, Bron, and Ilja, which wouldn't be bad, but they didn't go that route. First off, Bron and Ilja, again, always have had excellent chemistry, have had a good series of matches. Bron, though, eventually does win by a referee stoppage. I believe he speared him into the Ilja into the apron, or a couple things, but it was vicious. Like I always said, Ilja Dragunov, not the biggest guy out there. He is so good at selling on emotion. And he really, believably, beats the crap out of people. And he believably sells like he's getting the crap beat out of him, too. But Braun Breaker does win by referee stoppage. It sets up a rematch at SummerSlam, where I'm pretty sure they'll give the belt to Braun this time. And then maybe they could set up for a triple threat at Bash at Berlin. Although some people are wondering if because everybody's still thinking Gunther's going to win the world title. I think we can all agree that Gunther is probably going to win the world title at SummerSlam. Some people are saying they think the match that should main event Bash in Berlin is Gunther and Ilja Dragunov. I don't know if I would go there yet. I would honestly give it the time. Give Ilja again. I love Ilja. I still think he's still adjusting to the main roster, but he's off to a hot start for sure. He definitely feels like a serious player on the roster, but I don't know if I'm ready to see him fight for the world title yet. That could be more of a WrestleMania type match, possibly. But we'll see where it goes. Judgment Day's Clubhouse. Rhea gives the boys a roundup, but Dom wants to talk to her. He's worried about how she spoke of Jey Uso, and she's just messing around. But then Finn steps in and tells Dom that he needs to take care of Jey once and for all. Rhea's like, no, you don't. He doesn't matter. But then Finn then tells Dom to use his brain and not go starting any wars. She leaves, and then Finn and JD get Dom to come with, though. As they're going to be over fun and whatever they are. Go, shh, beware, very quiet. We're hunting Jey Usos. Yeet. Okay, that was a little dull, but, Anyway, so we have that. Lyra Valkyria has a match against Sonya Deville. Like I said, Sonya in this new stable, it interests me. I haven't been too impressed with her in-ring work, though, since she's come back. I am not a fan of her finisher, that Devil's Advocate, whatever she calls it. It's basically the same thing as Braun Strowman does, when he just lays the opponent on the back and he just like slams his fist into a chest and it goes down. Now, that's a stun move, though, for Braun Strowman. Why should that be a finishing move for Sonya Deville? I don't know. And then Lyra Valkyria, who I've always been a fan of, it still feels like to me they're presenting her doing her with Harley on her in-ring work. But they really haven't taken too much of the time to develop her character yet. So this match was fine, but both these women need some type of work. Sonya wins with her Devil's Advocate. And then we have a video footage of Nikki Cross gumming with a voiceover, saying cryptic things before saying, "Look at yourself," and then it cut. I think I would have liked that a little bit more if they would have left that for last. Because I feel like, because right now they started it last week with the Eric Rowan promo. How real and how emotional, of course, it got. As he talked about Bray Wyatt and, Luke Harper, and losing both of them. Nikki was just kind of like, rah, 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 and that was it. If they were going to add a little more, like, mystery to her character, I would have rather had them save her for last, if I'm being real. Because we still have Joe Gacy and Dexter Lumis as well to, have video packages for. This one should have been saved for last. Had that would have happened, I think we would have liked this segment just a wee bit better, but it fell a wee bit flat, if I'm being honest. Definitely probably the weakest Wyatt 6 segment so far, I think. CM Punk then comes out, and he announces that he, in fact, is cleared, and he takes up his fists, and he calls out Drew McIntyre. Drew comes out, says, "You want to fight? Not tonight." But what we did know is Adam Pearce came out, and he explained the whole situation. How Drew's suspension's been lifted. Punk has been medically cleared to compete. They will have their match at SummerSlam. But if either one of them puts a finger on each other, then the match is off. Which, that's why, obviously, Drew was trying to provoke Punk before that being revealed. Even, rubbing the bracelet of AJ Lee and Larry on it. Trying to get under Punk's skin to try to trick him into getting out of the match and humiliate him to get back at him. Oh, and also, Seth Rollins will, in fact, be the special guest referee for that match, which will be very interesting for sure. I kept predicting that Dunne would be a special guest referee in the Liv and Rhea match, but again, they had to have one of them, and they decided on Seth Rollins for Punk and Drew, which that would be very, very fascinating, in my opinion. So we have that, all that there. We then had Xavier Woods getting ready with Alpha Academy to take on the Final Testament. Sami Zayn also has a backstage interview saying he's taking Braun Breaker very, very seriously, and warns him, though, not to make the same mistake he made in Money in the Bank by not taking him seriously. And then Sami then sees Judgment Day beating down Jey Uso, and he saves Jey Uso and sets up for a random little tag match to end the show later on in the main event, which was a wee bit random, but Final Testament did in fact beat Xavier Woods, Otis, and Akira Tozawa. That's fine. This would mean something more to me if I knew it actually was going to lead somewhere. Besides the fact that they're giving Final Testament some victories, which I like. I feel like, though, that this won't matter if this doesn't do anything, though, with the New Day. Which, desperately, they need character changes, like I've been saying for a long time. They've just gone flat, and there's really no point in them being a group right now, if I'm being honest. So, I think that I will look on this feud higher if it actually leads to an interesting angle with New Day. But we have that. Chad Gable and the Creed brothers then come out. And, lost my page. Where are we at? Oh, right here. He comes out and he asks him to stick around because he can't help but want to keep helping his former pals. And basically they offer for them to come back, and Otis goes, nope, ain't having it. And then this leads to them attacking Otis and Akira Tozawa, but eventually though Otis will get the upper hand. He had time for the compactor until the Creed attacked again, but then the Wyatt 6 appeared, came down, but then they didn't see Bo Dallas, Uncle Howley show up, and he had Sister Abigail and Chad Gable. Fine. Bronson Reed and Pete Dunne come out for a match, but Sheamus then interferes and lays out Pete Dunne for attacking him last week. And he brawls with Bronson Reed and also hits the 10 beats to the boundary on Pete Dunne, and Sheamus stands tall. I know Pete Dunne appeared on NXT this week, might be going back and forth, but again, like I said, I still would like to see them maybe lead to a singles match between Pete Dunne and Sheamus at Bash in Berlin. That'd be nice and fresh, I'd say. Judgment Day back in the clubhouse. Finn tries tired of being disrespected, so he got a match for him and JD against Sami and Jay. But then also, Rhea RIpley gets upset though because she didn't want Jay attacked, and now they got Sami involved. And then she grabs Dom's arm, saying they're going to head to the ring because Liv Morgan, while they were hunting for Jay Uso, talked to Dom, and of course Dom got caught talking. So again, everybody's just freaking out, and Dom's like, nothing happened. But as she's going out though, Sheamus is being interviewed backstage, and he says Bronson Reed wanted to take him out so he could be the man to take out the Celtic Warrior. He still scratches his head on Pete Dunne because whatever issue they might have can be sorted out over a pint like proper fellas. Or they can even take it to the ring to find out who the real Bruiserweight is. Rhea RIpley then comes out with Dominik Mysterio and calls out Liv, and she basically tells Dom, it's your choice, her or me. And of course, as you know, Liv comes out through the crowd but stays in the crowd. She basically is just praising Dom, but then Rhea's like, just make your choice here, and then Dom just flips out and he flat out tells Liv that the 3 words that Liv always wanted to hear. Liv was thinking he was going to say, I love you, but instead he goes, I hate you. I hate you. You hate me. We're an unhappy. Yeah, I know. I made that up in like middle school, like the negative version of Barney's song. I know, but that's not what Dom said. But Dom just flat out just bashed Liv, and Liv walked out crying. Which, again, we all know is not going to last, but, you know, kind of a swerve. And then Rhea RIpley just awkwardly licks Dom's cheek. Dom, you're the man, but you're going to get it once you officially reveal who your heart's truly set on right now. Zelina Vega has a backstage interview, then she has a match with Zoe Stark, and surprisingly, Zelina got the victory. There was some outside interference from Kaden Carr, Katana Chance, and Lyra Valkyria, which led to Zelina slipping in the Yoshi Tonic to get the victory. Strange. They have been giving Zelina a lot of TV time lately, so maybe it'll lead to something for her. Who knows? Then Xavier Woods was backstage asking Adam Pearce for a match, and he got it. But then Drew McIntyre comes up behind him and talks about Seth Rollins being appointed special guest referee, and how he tells Pearce, we never talked about this, but Pearce said, well, too bad, because next week Seth's going to give them his official rules for their match at SummerSlam. We also got a promo with Alba Fire saying they'll be on SmackDown this week to address Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. Oops, my notes went to another page again. Yeah, they'll address them, and they also, and Sonya Deville and company roll up to trash talk them. Shayna says they've been running the division week to week, and Sonya says Jade and Bianca are the biggest threat to their reign. They are. Another triple threat. We just had this triple threat at Clash of the Castle. I don't know. Like I said, why I still don't get why they put the belts on Alba Fire and Isla Dawn if they've barely used them already. Like, why they put the belts on them and they haven't used them since? I don't know. Again, the main event was Jey Uso, Sami Zayn, and Judgment Day. Match was fine. Despite Jey and Sami winning the match, which they pinned the tag champs, so they kind of teased that maybe Jey and Sami may go after the tag titles. I don't know if that's entirely true or not, but we'll see how that goes. I know they have history together, but still, it's kind of filler for Jey. And Braun Breaker spears Sami while Jey is distracted at the end of the show, kind of like last week. How that happened. And that's Raw, pretty much. Like I said, I kind of flew through it, kind of tired, but it was still a pretty good show. Like I said, a couple little nitpicks, like especially I was disappointed with the Nikki Cross stuff, and a couple other little things here and there, but I gave the show a B+. Raw is a B+. Again, great stuff with Liv, Dominik, and Rhea. Damian Priest and Gunther's shit might be pretty good. I'm intrigued to see what they do with Sami Zayn and Braun Breaker. And much more as well happen. But guys, I'm going to check out now, guys. I'm going to do a couple more things and go to bed. Thank you guys again for joining me here for my review of Raw. Again, next time we have Raw, there will be new graphics underneath for the new Twitter and Instagram pages. So all that should be back up and running next week. So what are you guys' thoughts speaking of Raw? You guys' thoughts get down in the comment section below. Be sure also, as always, to slap a like on the video and subscribe for more content on my channel. Follow me on Twitter. No. Next week, you can follow me on Twitter. Whatever the name is, I don't know yet. And you can follow me on Instagram next week as well. But for now, you can follow me on TikTok at the Club of the Man 1993. Until, guys, I'm checking out. I'll catch you guys later. I'll see you guys in my SmackDown review whenever that happens over the weekend. And do not forget, in order to be superior to the man, you've got to be the man. And for I am the man himself, and that is not just an opinion, my friends. That is a fact of life. Yeah!